being someone that looks after themselves, thinks about the image that they're presenting, sometimes it can be as straightforward as getting yourself a new suit and just feeling good about yourself, and you go in with that positive attitude. Things can change very, very quickly, but you've got to get serious about it. So get around the right people, and the right people in this room. You've made an amazing start. Now, preparing for exit. When do you think you should start preparing for exit? Straight away. Possibly even before you buy. Because you start thinking, okay, if I bought this business, who could I sell it to? Who could I sell this business to? So, Martin, you gave the example with vets yesterday. And it's really easy to find out which private equity firms are buying veterinary practices. It's pretty easy to find out the multiples in some case, because sometimes these things should be confidential, but they're like an open secret. You get to know people in the industry and you find out what they are selling for. Different sector. I was looking at something completely different, and I said to Harry, we're having this conversation on the WhatsApp, and I said, look, they were marketed off £6 million of EBITDA on a £25 million revenue. That's whatever percentage it is. This was the amount that typically that private equity firm invests, up to 30 million. Therefore, they must have done it on this more. So you can start to re-engineer where you want to be. So this is the thing. If you have a number in mind, let's say you've got a 5 million, 10, a 15, 20, 25 million, you can work it backwards. By the way, I'm not telling you anything new. All of this is in the training modules in the members area, okay? So this is all there, all right? So if you haven't seen it, you need to go back to that. So the preparation for exit starts at this point of buying it even before you buy it. I've got a friend called Guy who owns a digital agency in Manchester, and I went to him and I said, look, I'm thinking of buying this business. If I bought this business, who would I sell it to? And he said, you'd sell it to this company or this company. He said they'd love it, very similar customers. So, of course, I didn't listen to him. And instead, I put together a list of 1,000 digital agencies in the UK. How did I do it? Well, I had a receptionist who was not always receiving people, wasn't receiving people all day long. So she sat there and just scoured Google for days on end and typed up manually a list of 1,000 digital agencies. And you know what I did? I sent them a letter and I said, this is an opportunity to buy this company. These are the key figures. If you're interested in having a confidential conversation about acquiring this company, then you need to respond and tell us by a certain date. So we ran it like an auction process. Who do you think we sold it to? One of the two companies that I was told right there. I didn't have to do any of that. I should have just listened to my friend and did what he said. But the point is, I've discovered, without realizing it, the buyer before I'd even, the ultimate buyer before I'd even bought it.
If you want to find out how to buy a business successfully, get your free business buying toolkit. The link is in the video description below.
And ultimately, this is all about you. You've got to look after yourself. You've got to realize that there's always going to be a degree of stress when it comes to any business endeavor. It's not going to be plain sailing. People frustratingly mess you around on deals. They can pull out, and you've got to kind of drag them back and recover it. And there will be a degree of stress. But it shouldn't be stress that affects your health. And you've got to keep yourself healthy. You've got to keep yourself fit mentally as well as physically. You do not want to be the buyer who turns up to the meeting looking like you haven't slept. Being someone that looks after themselves, thinks about the image that they're presenting. Sometimes it can be as straightforward as just getting yourself a new suit and just feeling good about yourself, and you go in with that positive attitude. Things can change very, very quickly, but you've got to get serious about it. You've got to get focused. It won't happen by itself. You've got to invest your time, you've got to invest your energy, invest your money. You've got to do what it takes to get you the knowledge, the experience, and buy in the help and assistance. I wouldn't expect you as part of an acquisition to become a lawyer and know everything about drafting a sale and purchase agreement. I wouldn't expect you to know everything about due diligence. You get these people in. If you have a gap in your knowledge, there's always someone who can help you. Buying a business is not DIY, it's not do it yourself. It's about surrounding yourself with the right people. But if you look after yourself, if you look after your state of mind, that is going to be your most valuable asset. Eliminate negativity from your life, all right? Be around positive people. If you're around negative people, they'll drag you down. They'll drag you back. They'll talk you out of your dreams. They'll talk you out of your future. And sometimes we have to make some hard choices. Sometimes we say, well, actually, those friends always make me feel bad. Or if I'm with that family member, oh my goodness, my state of mind afterwards is just so bad. You say, if I really want this, I've got to be the person I need to be in order to achieve it. And that means being around the people who support you, and a rising tide raises all ships, as they say. If you're around people who support you, you move up in the world. You're around people who just drag you down. Oh my goodness, they're a drain. Yeah, and I've discovered that like attracts like. Positive people attract positive people. Negative people attract negative people. Negative people, bitch, 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 bitch. Positive people, how can we be successful? How can we do this faster? So get around the right people, and the right people in this room. You made an amazing start.